Can anyone explain to me
This
how I
system is
have 2
flawed.
degrees?
You can have 2
I have 2
degrees
degrees. Oh,
and
and a
something
certificate.
extra,
A little
but if
extra,
you
right?
don't
I have a
fit
certificate.
the
May not be
stereotype
a
of that
master's, but it's
company's
something extra,
culture,
along
they
with the
don't
2
care.
degrees.
They
You
hire who
know?
they like,
I'm trying to apply for
and it
jobs
doesn't.
right
Alright, to the girl that I made that stitch to, I'm sorry. I think I was just frustrated with my own experience. I'm gonna give you some actual solid advice, alright? So, it's not enough to just apply to the job. The jobs that you're interested in, you have to do a couple of things to stand out to employers because they get a high volume of applicants every day. Okay? So if you're just applying to the jobs, hoping that somebody will look at your credentials and be like, oh my goodness, she's perfect, that's not going to work. You have to, outside of the 2 degrees, and the little something extra certificate to make yourself stand out. If you have any volunteer experiences, any of your first jobs, did you do any volunteer programs while you were getting your 2 degrees? Do you have a letter of recommendation from any of your professors? All that stuff is something that can help you stand out. Um, outside of that, you have to make sure when you send in your resume, it's always smart to do a cover letter to let them know who you are, what you're about, why you stand out, why you would fit into their company culture, what you can bring to the table. All of these things matter when you're reaching out to employers to try to get a job and prospective job opportunities. So, like I said, I apologize for that response earlier. I was just frustrated. Um but yeah, I wanted to actually give you solid advice because it seems like you just got out of school. You look like you literally just graduated last month. So yeah, that those are things that can stand out for employers. On top of that, like after you send in your resume, and if you haven't done a cover letter, you should do a cover letter. Like I said, let them know about yourself, who you are, what you bring to the table. Um, and then after all of that, if you still haven't heard back, sometimes you have to go in and call the jobs and let them know that you've applied and let them know that you're interested, just so they can get a feel for your personality and see if you fit. Like I said, the company culture. All that other stuff that I said earlier in the video, that's really happening. There are people that are resource hoarding, but not everybody's resource hoarding. Um, so scrap all of that, right? Yeah, make sure you call. Like, but don't call immediately like the next day. Give it a couple days, at least 3, 4 days before you start calling and be like, oh yeah, I applied. I'm still interested in the position. Are you still looking for somebody? And then sometimes if it's not working on the online, and you did the call, sometimes you can go in person and let them know that you've applied, see what the store is about, see if you as at the store, see what the job is about. It doesn't have to be a store. I mean, sometimes you might have to lowball your jobs even though you have a degree because they want to see that you have experience. And sometimes to get experience, you have to work below your potential just until you can reach the standard where it's like, oh, you have some work experience. You might have to do entry level internships, all that stuff. And if you are doing internships, get you a paid internship. Don't do no free labor. Um, so all that is applicable, and that all that applies to when you're trying to get a job, right? So yeah, don't be afraid to show up at the place and let them know about yourself. Let them know that you've applied and if you're in the area or something. Sometimes you have to go. Sometimes getting a job is a job. It's a lot of work. You got to put the hours in to actually make yourself stand out because, like I said, some of these employers are having high volumes of applicants, hundreds and thousands of applicants a day, sometimes even an hour. Some jobs have over 1,000 applicants an hour. It depends. People are trying to increase their salaries and make sure that they can live good. And then sometimes you might have to utilize a connection that you have, somebody that you know that can get you into a door. Sometimes that saying sometimes it's very true. It's not what you know, it's who you know. Sometimes you have to utilize who you know on top of doing all of that other stuff. So yeah, it might seem like hard work, but at the end of the day, it's gonna. These are steps proven that can get you the job. So yeah, don't give up. like I said, I got discouraged. I'm sorry for that negative response, but don't give up, and you can do it. You're gonna get a job that's gonna work for you and meet the standard of your degrees and your certificate. Like I said, sometimes even if you have to lowball it, even if you have to go work with a Bart at the call center, just so you can get that experience. A step a step forward, even if it's not in the direction that you particularly want. Sometimes the road is not linear, and the road is not linear. There's all types of twists and turns. You might have to take detours until you get to your final destination. So, yeah, I hope that advice helps. You can do it. Like I said, I'm sorry for my negative responses. I've been dealing, like, everybody in this economy is dealing with some rough stuff, and it hasn't been easy for a lot of us. Even like I said, supply chains are breaking. The cost of living is going up. There's pandemics and politics and all types of craziness that's happening in society right now. So many different changes. So we're all trying to keep up. We're all trying to ebb and flow with the changes. It gets stressful for all of us. And I'm sorry that you're dealing with that. I'm sorry you're feeling frustrated, because I know getting degrees and going to school, people underestimate school like it's just fun and party because they see it in movies. They think it's just fun and parties, but it can be really stressful when you're working towards something and you have finals and you're putting all this pressure on yourself. We've all been conditioned that if you go to college and get your degrees, you're going to get the job. But right now, in this economy, it doesn't seem like it's happening, and it's going to turn around soon, but we don't know when. We don't know exactly when. Well, we're going to get there one day at a time. You can do it. I can do it. Anybody else listening who needs help getting a job, I hope this is a good advice for you. You guys can do it. Anybody who's listening to this and they need something, I hope this is motivation enough to not give up. Your life will turn around eventually. Don't let any of these hard circumstances stop you from achieving the success that you want in your life. Like I said, even if you have to go in a different direction because the road to your goals are not always linear, you might have to hop over a mountain or walk through a couple forest trees and all this other stuff, metaphors, but you'll get there. You guys can do it. I believe in you. You got this. To the girl that put that message out there, you got this. And to anybody else, like I said, who's listening and needs this, you got this. So with that being said, I'm off this. I hope this helps. And happy hunting for the job. That being said, I'm off this. Bye. Deuces. Peace.